Greetings adventurers, Frostback, and today I want to talk about the new ZG-BIS lists. So we're going to go over a few different things. First we're going to go over Frost. Two to 3 DPS less than this set. 0.2 to 3 DPS less. So it is a very, very small downgrade. And another thing is you don't need Ringos, you just wear full Bloodline. So full Bloodline is really not that much worse than Ringos. It's literally like a couple DPS. Other than that, everything is the same in this set. It's literally just replacing Blackwing Cabal and T2 and the Ringos boots with Bloodvine and Blue Set. And this is very, very close to being as good. So this is probably what I'll have. I do already have Blackwing Cabal though, but I don't have Mish, so I'll probably be running like Gloves and Helm, right? You kind of have to like just work with what you have and see what is best. And again, I'll leave a link to my spell damage calculator that I use to compare all these down in the description, as well as links to all these BIS list sets. So now moving on to flat spell power BIS, you obviously cannot have Ringos, and then other than that, it's literally just swapping your offhand and your wand. So you're looking at like the T2 gloves, Mish, Cabal from the BIS Frost Power set. Instead of, you can do this combo too, and it'll be only a small DPS downgrade, just like it was a small DPS downgrade from the Frost Power to the second Frost Power set. And then also obviously the Bloodline, and then you can see we have 10% hit. It's all good from there. Oh yeah, and then let's go over trinkets before we move on from single target. So your two best trinkets are always Neltharion's Tear and Mind Quickening Gem for single target, no matter what the length of the fight is, no matter what. These two trinkets are the best. However, MQG has a 5-minute cooldown. you're not going to have this trinket up for every single boss fight, right? So you want to also have a ZHC, Zandalari Hero Charm, inside your bag from ZG. This is better than Toe Up for fire, but for frost, Toe Up is better. But you want to have all 3 of them, so you can be rotating between all 3 of them, right? And be using whichever one's off cooldown. And then you even want to carry your Briarwood Reed on you too, so you can throw that one in. Or your Eye of the Beast for AoE over Briarwood Reed if all the other on-use ones are on cooldown. So having multiple trinkets, like only 2 trinkets are not your BIS. You want to have all the trinkets, ideally, if you want to be able to like keep pumping throughout a raid, especially a speed run where you don't have time to wait for cooldowns. And then now finally, for the last Frost set for ZG for our current BIS list, it's Aoe Set. So for the Aoe Set, we are bringing in a few different items. You don't use MQG ever in AoE. Toe Up is always the best for AoE. Second best is always ZHC because you're spamming Arcane Explosion. So you're getting a globe off or a spell off every single global, right? So ZHC will go down in spell power very, very quickly. Toe Up's very strong for AoE. And then Nelth's tier is also strong, especially in BWL because your AoE packs are Suppression Room and Lab packs. And in both of those, you're still doing single target damage. A majority of your damage is AoE, but after you finish AoEing, you're still doing single target. So having that extra hit from there is nice. And since the spell power is basically as good as the 2% crit, might as well take the hit also, right? And we'll keep that same kind of mentality throughout the rest of it. Like, for example, having 18 spell damage, 1% hit, we're happy about having that hit on there from that enchant. But we're not going to go and use Bloodline, right? Like, that's too much hit. We don't need that much hit. So from there, Mind Tier Band. Remember, crit's very strong in AoE. So 1 Ring of Spell Power, 1 Mind Tier Band, since Mind Tier Band's unique. Arcanist Boots. T1 Boots, still the best AoE boots. And they stay the best for a very long time. These are very strong boots. T2 Pants, obviously rank 12 pants are also very, very close, just slightly less intellect. MIC, another MC piece that's lasting a very long time, just like Choker. T2 Gloves, Robes of Volatile Power. This is another MC item that's very, very strong. It has 2% crit on it. So these for AoEing is awesome. And they have stamina and intellect, right? Because Robe the Archmage is not far behind in terms of AoE damage, because it does have 1% crit and has a lot more spell power, but the Robes of Volatile Power also have 10 stamina on them, which is very nice, and 15, and so they're better. And then Cloak of the Broodlord, you don't need the hit again, so you don't need Cloak of Consumption. However, I would be up to have an argument that possibly Cloak of Consumption is better because of what we were talking about earlier. You're still DPSing Hatchers, you're still DPSing the Warlocks and the Drake Talons, or whatever they are inside the lab packs. So yeah, like, I'm open to thinking that some more hit could be worth it inside of this set. These are some new bracers that are very good. They're not much better than the Warsong bracers that are much easier to get, but these are a new world boss from the Nightmare Dragons item. Same with the Mind Tier Band. So these 2 items are kind of tough to get. But just remember, Ring of Spell Power, not that much further behind. Same thing with like Band of Force Concentration and stuff. And then we have the new ZG wand for flat spell power. And of course, we're wearing flat spell power on the offhand too. So yeah, those are our 3 BIS sets. I no longer, for BIS, I don't think FR is any more BIS. I don't consider that BIS. Like for Firemaw, I no longer wear any FR gear for Firemaw or for Veil. We just get the Uber's buff. That's enough. And there's no point in sacrificing more damage when you can just go get a fire resistance buff from Ubers that's literally 10 feet away from the entrance to BWL. So yeah, we just do that. And now let's move on to the ZG BIS for fire single target going into AQ. So this is like your pre-BIS AQ fire damage set. So this is what you want to collect all of going into AQ. It's basically the same thing, except obviously you need to have your fire damage AV offhand, so you're gonna have to go buy that. And then this is still the same as your flat spell power set, essentially, except you're also adding these Rock Fury bracers, which you can get come the opening of AQ, and you will be able to have them before you enter the raid. I will make a guide on these in the future, but these are quite complicated to get. But they are very good, and they are BIS for AQ. So you do, in fact, really, really, really want them. And then, other than that, we can look at the Aoe set going into AQ, and the only difference between it is you're replacing your Bloodline, right? No MQG, you want to have toe up for Aoe, of course. T1 boots instead of Bloodvine, Netherwind pants instead of Bloodvine, robes of volatile power instead of Bloodvine. It's the same essentially as this set, except it has different bracers, because these bracers, the Rock Fury bracers, have more spell power, do more spell power, and they gain a hit. So we're not complaining again to have hit on there, because why not? We'll still throw some single target spells in there every once in a while when we have our AoE set on. So yeah, please like, comment, and subscribe if you liked this video. If you have any ideas for where I fucked up maybe and have wrong items, let me know down in the comments. But thank you all for watching, and I will see you all on Azeroth.